Good morning, everyone. This is Delilah Balicol, your reporter today. The topic I am going to discuss is all about the genetic basis of language. Before we start, let us know first the objective of this report. Number one is to understand the concept of language. Number two is to determine how every individual develop their language skills. And number three is to comprehend some factors which affect human speech and language. In order for us to better understand our discussion today, let us first define what is language. So, language is a vital part of human connections. Although all species have their ways of communicating, humans are the only ones that have mastered cognitive language communication. Language allows us to share our ideas, thoughts, and feelings with others. Also, thoughts, feelings, language, and learnings are expressed through the language, which are the first source of our communication. It plays an important role in undertaking any aspect of our life. We convey our feelings and thoughts to others through it. Let us also define what is genetics. So, genetics is the study of heredity and how qualities and characteristics are passed on from one generation to another by means of genes. It is also a study of heredity in general and of genes in particular. It is a branch of biology concerned with the study of genes, genetic variation, and heredity in organisms. And last, let us also define the FOXP2 or fork-head box genes. So it is one of the few genes that's been very clearly tied to the capacity for human speech and language. This gene is also required for the proper development of speech and language in humans. Humans have a unique natural ability to develop highly complex linguistic system, an ability that lies in our genes but is also shaped by our different environments. Even though languages are not inborn, a specific genetic predisposition within a group of genetically similar individuals might influence the evolution of particular structural features of language. Gene variants underlie individual language skills. Genetic predisposition might favor the evolution of structural features of language. The language has a very significant role in our life. Every aspect of our life involves language. The language also plays an important role in the development of a person's personality because communication is the one which drives our lives and makes ourselves better. Basically, language distinguishes humans from other animal species. There is also some researchers that investigate about the genetic basis of language. There is a gene that can affect human speech and language. According to Daniel Joshwind, a professor of neurology, psychiatry, and human genetics, he says we still do not know much about how language evolves in humans, but it clearly is going to reside in changes in genes, either new genes or changes in all genes that gives them new function. Genetic relations among language, however, are not biologically based, but also defined as cultural transmission from generation to generation. That is, language are learned, not inherited via the genes. All languages changes during the course of time, and the longer the time period, the greater the changes. There are a lot of people who learn and have the ability to speak and understand other languages. An example of this is the monolingual. A monolingual is a person who have the ability to speak and understand only one language. And number two is the bilingual. A bilingual is a person who have the ability to speak and understand two languages. And the three is the trilingual. So, trilingual is a person who have the ability to speak and understand three languages. And the monolingual or a polyglot is a person who have the ability to understand and speak more than 3 languages. So that means language are not biologically based or not inborn because the ability that they have is we can define it as cultural transmission because language are being learned and not inherited via the genes. Language are not inborn. There are approximately 7,000 languages in the world today, and learning any one of them is a lengthy process that takes around a decade. There is no reason why a Chinese child growing up in Germany should learn to speak German any worse than a German child or a child of any other nationality. A specific genetic predisposition, however, might influence the evolution of particular structural features of a language within a group or genetically similar individuals. So that means if a child is not surrounded by people who are using a language, that child will gradually lose the ability to acquire language naturally without effort. If this deprivation continues until puberty, the child will no longer be biologically capable of attaining native fluency in any language. Although they might be able to achieve a limited competence, this phenomenon has been called the critical age range hypothesis. It is very important for us that we have the knowledge about knowing the genetic basis of language. As a Filipino, let us appreciate our own language because it allows us to connect to other people, share our thoughts and feelings, and bind us together. Again, this is Delilah Balikol, your reporter today. Thank you.